I'd now like to welcome Dr. Susan Pendergrass. She is the Network Director of VA's Northwest Healthcare Network. She has a 35-year career serving veterans in the Department of Veterans Affairs. Dr. Pendergrass serves as Network Director for the Veterans Health Administration in Alaska, Idaho, Oregon, and here in Washington. She also holds degrees from the University of California in Berkeley, the University of California in San Francisco, and Florida State University. Dr. Pendergrass was appointed Network Director of the VA Northwest Health Network on April 12, 2009. Prior to that, she served as Director of the Charles George VAMC in Asheville, North Carolina. Please now welcome Dr. Susan Pendergrass.
Good evening. I am very thrilled to be here representing all of the staff of this great Northwest Network. As Jade mentioned, that covers Alaska, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. And actually, this is the third time that we have participated and supported the wheelchair games. So that this is a great honor for our network. We first had in 1996 the games in Seattle, reaching for the new heights. And then in Alaska, 10 years later, as we were chasing the midnight sun, and now here, yes, and now here in the 29th games where we are rolling on the river. Each time we have participated, we come away changed by the experience, moved and inspired beyond measure, and strengthening our commitment to the veterans we are honored to serve. So we thank you, and it is a privilege. I also attended the games in Seattle 13 years ago, and I'm pleased to be here again as a representative of Vision 20, the Northwest Network, as a volunteer, and also as a very vocal cheerleader. My hopes for this week are not only that you compete to your very best, and that you also enjoy the time, both with your friends, with the family, with the community, the beautiful sense of community here as Spokane embraces our veterans. I hope that you achieve all of your goals that you have set for yourself, that each has the eye on the finish line, and that each basket, each lap, each hurdle has with the same self-determination, heartfelt determination that you have demonstrated in all that you do every day of your life. Please also enjoy the community of Spokane and our local veterans and PVA staff who have honored to be your hosts this week. I would also like to acknowledge PVA, the Paralyzed Veterans of America, both the local and national levels, who have worked tirelessly with the VA to make the year's Wheelchairs game an outstanding success. And finally, many thanks to all of our sponsors and also the 3,000 volunteers who will be here during the week to support you in Spokane. So I'll be cheering for you, and let the games begin. Thanks.
Now I'd like to introduce Emily Smith. Emily was appointed as VA's Deputy Assistant Secretary for Intergovernmental Affairs on March 25th, 2009. Ms. Smith oversees VA's intergovernmental, tribal government, and international affairs programs, national homeless veterans programs, consumer affairs program, and national outreach program. Prior to joining VA, Ms. Smith was the CEO and Clinical Director of West Central Mental Health Care in Iowa. She also worked as a lead advance person for both President and Mrs. Obama during the 2008 presidential campaign and the 2009 presidential inauguration. Please welcome Emily Smith.
Good evening, and thank you, Jade, for that warm introduction and for serving as Mistress of Ceremonies here tonight. I want to give a special shout out to my home state athletes from Iowa. Good luck this week, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, competitors, friends, and our partners at Paralyzed Veterans of America, on behalf of the Department of Veterans Affairs Assistant Secretary for Public and Intergovernmental Affairs, my boss, the Honorable Tammy Duckworth, I am honored to join you here this evening at the opening ceremonies for the 29th National Veterans Wheelchair Games. I'm proud to be a part of the Department of Veterans Affairs as we work to fulfill the vision of President Barack Obama and VA Secretary Eric Shinseki to transform our department for the 21st century. Change is one of the most difficult tasks an organization can undertake, and yet change is imperative for all organizations if they are to remain relevant and responsive to those they serve. Our veterans, each of you in this room, deserve a VA that is relevant over time, that is responsive to your changing needs, and that cares enough about you to undertake this challenging transformation. Let me assure you that we care very much. Each of you has traveled a long, difficult path to reach these games. You have overcome personal challenges and daunting obstacles to not just persevere, but to excel in life and reach the highest level of competition here at the Games. I'm sure that some of you are nervous and apprehensive about the week ahead, and I think that's a good thing. It's quite normal, actually. The key is to transfer that apprehension into a burning desire to succeed and let it fuel your efforts, whether you are taking on the grueling slalom course, going for a personal record on the bench press, or competing in the quad rugby championship. Each of you brings something special to the Games. Whether you served in peace or times of war, you bring a spirit of toughness, the same spirit of perseverance and commitment to success that marks your service in uniform. It is a spirit born in adversity, tested by challenge, and driven by optimism. It is a spirit that thrives in its quest for achievement. You, the men and the women of the 29th National Veterans Wheelchair Games, are the keepers of that spirit. VA is fortunate to have such a strong partnership with the Paralyzed Veterans of America to help us nurture and kindle that spirit. We are fortunate because PVA is dedicated to making a difference in veterans' lives. And we are about to experience that difference here in Spokane as we get rolling on the river this week at the Games. This promises to be a memorable week of competition, sportsmanship, and camaraderie. I wish you all the best.
Representing Paralyzed Veterans of America this evening is the National President, Randy L. Pleva Sr. Mr. Pleva is in his 5th term as National President for the Paralyzed Veterans of America, an office he was elected to in 2004. He is the only National President of the Paralyzed Veterans to have been elected to 5 terms. Previously, he served as National Senior Vice President and Vice President and has held numerous other leadership positions within the organization. We are pleased to welcome back Randy Pleva to the National Veterans Wheelchair Games.